It's Friday. I'm still on the vacation portion of my sabbatical, and yet I still feel like my productivity has fallen off. That's a hard thing to shake. On the other hand, the coffee is poured, my head is abuzz with the strange phenomenon known as thinking, and these are some random TTRPG thoughts. Let's roll it. Before we begin, I would like to shout out everyone who has liked, commented, and shared any of the videos I post to this channel. The algorithm is not kind to smaller channels like mine, so it helps a lot. And if you'd consider doing those things for this video, I'd be most grateful. Also, if you want to keep up to date with DM Tales, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to know when I post new content to this channel. I also have a special shout out for my Ko-fi contributors who give direct support to this channel out of the kindness of their hearts. If you'd like to become a channel member, the link is right over there. Finally, if you're looking for some fun shirts to wear, check out my new DM Tales merch store, which should have a better turnaround time than the old shop and has fun designs like this one, letting folks know that you are not great at small talk. Of course, wearing a shirt like that might trigger an attempt at small talk, so wear it at your own risk. I really wanted to get my Rust and Redemption review out this week, but when the little wants to play a tower defense game together, it's hard to say no. The first draft is about 90% written though, so expect it soon, and I have to say this has been fun to write. A big shout out to my friend Martin, also known as Daddy Rolled a One, who is the one who suggested I move the bulk of my merch sales to Spreadshop. He was so right, it is a much better experience. And if you have not checked out the Daddy Rolled a One YouTube channel, link is right there, you are missing out. Martin has some fantastic long-form videos on the history of the hobby and D&D in particular. He is a fantastic researcher and presenter. Go check out his channel. After you finish watching this video, that is. Due to the holiday, travel, and schedule implosions, my Dragon Bane group has been on hiatus since June. We're shifting next week's game to Wednesday instead of Thursday so that we can get it in, and that's good because one of my players has declared that he's going through withdrawal. You ever notice how Donald Trump, whenever he gets pinned on one of the many shady things he does, doesn't know anything about it? And then, like clockwork, a little bit later, he takes out his metaphorical laser pointer and says, "Go look at the dot! Go chase the dot over there!" And I find it interesting that this time with the whole Epstein thing, a significant portion of his cult isn't chasing the dot. So much so that Speaker Johnson had to take his ball and go home early this summer. This is a fascinating thing to watch. I've done some rambling live streams the last couple of weeks as I try to get used to this new platform I'm using. And I have two things to say about these. First, it's rather fun to ramble on stream of consciousness every now and again. It's just a blast to do. Second, I'm grateful for all the folks who drop by in the chat for these unannounced streams. It is unexpected, and I am really, really thankful you're there. Because of my work at PAX Unplugged, I am now on the press list for a number of game developers, which is pretty cool. And at present, they're all sending out some really cool opportunities for folks who are going to be at Gen Con next week. And I'm finding myself a tad jealous. So for everyone going to Gen Con, I wish you all an amazing time. Have some fun for me while you're there. My new Monero group had its monthly session at our local brewery this week, and it was the first time that I'd not called ahead to let them know that I was coming, so I was wondering what they'd think about me coming over and just taking over a couple tables as I set up. And I find that I really didn't need to be worried. When I showed up with my bags, the woman at the bar said, "Oh, are you having another game night?" And when I said yes, she added, "Well, great, have fun." Brewery 33 in Riverton, New Jersey is a fun place run by folks who want to be a boon to the community. And even better, there's no one there who's getting drop dead drunk. Every time I've gone, there's been families with kids, folks watching a game on the TV, and friends catching up over a pint while they eat whatever food they had delivered to the brewery. Really good times. Now, for its part, my new Monero party, which is known as Murder Fire 13B, it's a whole story in and of itself, they had an eventful session. They traveled to an abandoned city, only to find a tribe of peaceful abhumans had taken up residence there and considered it a sacred place. Instead of bullying their way through the diminutive residents, who were just about 2 feet tall and had enlarged heads, they actually had a respectful conversation and agreed to make an offering to the tribe's deity known as the Caretaker. To do this, they had to travel 2 days north to a nearby volcano, which had a very large lava pool in the crater that for some reason didn't give off any heat. They never figured out why. And there they had to offer 2 ciphers by tossing them in. Weirdness happened. The Caretaker accepted their offering and, after some discussion, agreed to help the group get back to that abandoned city faster than they had traveled out to it in the first place. This was important because the group had about a week before a giant creature returned and squashed a nearby town, so time was of the essence. Now, what followed that conversation can only be described as a fast-moving vehicle fight scene from a 90s-era beat-em-up video game like the sewer surfing level from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The group arrived back in the sacred city, recovered that last piece they needed to rebuild a machine to defend the threatened town, and got back with 3 days to spare. After repairing the device, they summoned a kaiju, manned a defensive turret during an epic battle, and saved that town from burning down. That was fun. Monte Cook Games has been sending out updates regarding upcoming changes to the Cipher System. It's been interesting watching the community react to these. At the start, there was a bit of panic, but I've watched it now shift towards cautious optimism and even excitement. Now, for my part, I'm rather interested in how MCG is going to speed up character creation, and I am outright excited by the dials they are adding to the game to tweak things for different genres. A pulp hero, for example, can get buried in a landslide and then just dust themselves off and continue on the adventure. The upcoming changes to Cipher System seek to make the ability to run that sort of game a lot easier. They sound fun. Speaking of Brewery 33, we'll be holding another open adventure there on Sunday, October 24th. The adventures will run from 5 to 8. Right now, we've got 2 tables ready to go. My friend Josh will be running an amazing game called Vassin. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I will be running Monty Python's co-curricular medieval reenactment program for the first time. I've even got a second set of the funky dice for the game for that occasion. It's going to be great. Seats are first come, first play, so come on out if you can and try to be early. And if there are any other tables that are going to be running, I'll make sure to let everybody know. And here's a bonus random thought. On Monday, August 11th, DM Tales will be hosting an actual play of Monty Python's medieval reenactment program that's going to be run by the game's creator, Brian Saliba. Yes! That fun will begin at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Then, later in the month, we're going to have a game of Land of Eames stream that's going to be run by the Elder Goblin himself, my friend Jorben from Elder Goblin Games. I'll have more for you on that as details are finalized. Okay, coming up on the channel, as I said, I'm about 90% done my Rust and Redemption review. That should be fun, and I will be able to share with you the unnamed new Monero book because my players got to the edge of things just this last session, so I'm really looking forward to getting the voices of the data sphere on this channel very, very soon. I got a zine game I want to do. I have Ironbound. I have Never Going Home. I have Star Trek Adventures. I have so many things I wish to get to everyone, and I'm looking forward to bringing it all to you as soon as I can. So, until we see each other again, folks, happy playing, everyone.